Hey everyone, in this video I'll be explaining flywheels. Now flywheels are energy storage units and they're used to keep an engine running smooth and to keep it running when you're not giving it gas or it's in neutral. Now a good analogy is a potter's wheel. So if you think about a potter's wheel, they have a little foot press that they keep pressing and it spins a large stone on the bottom. And as that stone's rotating, it's connected to a table in which they hold the clay and they can shape and mold it. And that clay is spinning at a constant speed, and that's because of the flywheel down at the bottom that has its inertia, and so it stays at a constant speed even though the force that you apply is at intervals. So the same idea can be applied to cars. So cars have flywheels attached at the end of the engine, or attached to the crankshaft, and it's the item that will be pressed against with the transmission. So you'll either have a clutch or a torque converter, and the torque converter would be mounted attached to the flywheel, and the clutch plate would press against it when you were trying to accelerate, or when you were engaging the clutch, rather. So the basic idea is if you didn't have that flywheel on there, you'd have a really uneven power distribution. So I went through here and we've got the 4 strokes divided up: intake, compression, power, and exhaust. So you've got intake occurring in the first stage, your compression occurring in the second stage, and then you've got your power stroke. So your engine's not producing any torque when you're not in that power stroke, and then once you get to it, you have a peak of power. So you'd have a jerk if you were in a vehicle. Now this is eliminated by adding this flywheel. So your torque is very even, and so even when you're not applying that power stroke, you'll have power distribution because of the inertia of the flywheel maintains power. So basically, however, if you increase the size of the flywheel, then you can increase the smoothness and basically level this out. So you can see there's still a little bump. You could get rid of that completely if you just had a big enough flywheel. So why wouldn't you just have a really huge flywheel, since you'll have a smoother running and an even power delivery engine? Well, there's 2 problems really. You've got more rotational inertia if you have a larger flywheel, and that means you've got to spin that flywheel up, and to do that takes a lot of energy. So that's just wasting fuel. You're just trying to get a flywheel spinning, that's not getting you to move anywhere. Second, added weight. You want to keep everything in your car as light as possible just for handling purposes, for pretty much all purposes of the performance aspect of a vehicle. So you want to keep the flywheel weight as low as possible, but still have even torque delivery. And that's the purpose of it. Now it's difficult to show you my flywheel because it's internal, but here's the basic idea. If you've got the engine here, so you've got the cylinders lined across there, and then inside of this case where there's a clutch, the flywheel is going to be spinning in here. And that's actually what the starter motor will attach to start the engine.